the hard way that there are a lot of people doing construction work right outside of our window. So that's great, so I need to leave here. I'm just gonna talk to my agent tonight, but other than that, I have a day off. So I'm gonna try to bake, and I don't cook. I don't know how to cook. I don't know how to bake. I just don't know. And I need to stop saying that and then actually learn how to do it. I found 2 recipes I wanna try. I wanna try to make an apple pie. That can't be hard. That's literally just cutting things and then putting in something, right? I mean, this might be the most fall thing I've done in like 10 years. It's not sticking, you know? There's a bakery right down on the corner where I could just buy an apple pie instead of making one. But no. I figured it out. Apparently you just have to like crumble it. I can't remember if my dad is like really allergic to almonds or peanuts. It's one of them. I guess I'll just cross my fingers. I'm not really showing you what I'm doing because who on planet Earth would follow what I do in the kitchen when I don't know what I'm doing in the kitchen. Exhausted now. I've been baking for 20 minutes, which is 20 minutes too long. Do you think anyone has ever been more proud of this little amount of work as I am? Det er overhovedet ikke vigtigt, eller jo lidt faktisk. Det er faktisk lidt vigtigt nu jeg tænker over det, fordi I thought, let me share a little picture of my baking journey on Instagram. I've had a couple people now being like, what are you doing? Are you okay? All the haters. No support in life. My friends are in the bathroom getting I wanted to stick around. And I still mean it when you've heard what I've told you. Today is to apply for the green card lottery. Basically just a lottery where you just put in your passport information and then you can win an American green card, which would be amazing, and it's free, which is insane when you think about that you almost pay 10K for your work visa in America, right? Every single year, I think 19 million people enter the lottery and then they give out like 50,000 green cards. So like it's hard to get, but you don't really have to do much, you know, so why not? I just took some photos for that. Officer.
They give us their worst people, they put them in a bin, but in his hand when he's picking them is really the worst of the worst. Congratulations, you're going to the United States. Okay.
So pretty much if you're from Mexico, if you're from China, if you're from India, you don't qualify because there's so many people already that are migrating to the US. But if you're from countries like Denmark, for instance, where there aren't that many people that go and live in America, then you qualify, and the point of it is to ensure the diversity in who's coming into the country. And I think that's pretty cool. Because right now I'm only allowed to do dance work in the United States. Like I'm not allowed to do anything else, like not even like other artist work. Getting a green card would mean that you can pretty much do anything that an American can do, minus voting. I know what you're thinking. What is it like being such a model? It's not easy, you guys. 3-4 months ago, I went to this hairdresser who completely destroyed my hair. Like, no, who would want this? It was basically just like my own hair bleach. And you know when you're bleaching your hair, you're like destroying your hair. So I actually did like an Instagram poll, like, would you ever go back and like tell them you don't like it? And people were like, no. And I was like, me either. I was like wearing a hat for like the first 3 weeks, which is why I've used a lot of hair masks lately. Like no one gives a shit. I'm gonna be pissed if I find a hairdresser that fucks it up again. I don't think you can tell a difference because I barely can. Can you? Be honest. I'm gonna go and donate a lot of clothes today, and I think if there's one thing that this whole traveling, dancing, budget, starving artist life has ever taught me, is kind of like you don't really need a lot of stuff. And that's actually what I was kind of worried about whenever I started blogging, because I was like, can you make an income from doing this if it's not about making them buying a product or feel that they're missing out if they don't have this product, or you know what I mean? You actually can. I've never been much of like a fashion person or someone who has like a lot of makeup or a lot of stuff. I didn't have a home really from like 2015 until 2018. I was like back and forth between LA and China and like Paris, and I always lived in a suitcase, so I don't have a lot of stuff. I asked my roommate in LA.
My one takeaway from today is that there's two types of people in the world. There's the Julias and there's the Matildas. Julias hoard everything that comes in their possession and they don't throw it out for roughly 20 years. I have clothes that I have had since high school. I've brought all the way out to LA for no apparent reason. Matildas are the people that have like 1/4 of the shit that the Julias have, and they just manage to make it all work. She doesn't have a makeup brush, she'll just use a pair of scissors, and this is a true story. She actually used a pair of scissors to fill in her eyebrows. Now you tell me which one you are and would rather be.
One time in LA, I went and tried to donate something. So I went on the bus with like 8 huge bags, and I walked into this place, and the lady is like, yeah, I'll look through it. And I just stand there and wait, and then she's like, sweetie, and then I was like, yeah. And she goes, yeah, no, thank you. Nothing from like those 8 bags that you would want. And she was like, no. There were like some normal brands in there. Like we had like Nike and like Puma shoes and stuff. And I was like, okay, can you keep the clothes anyway and like send it, you know, somewhere? She was like, no, we don't do that. Okay, cool. The walk of shame when not even homeless people want your clothes. I'm like, this is the most LA thing in the world. In our apartment in LA, I took a nap and I woke up once because I could hear like people yell downstairs, and I looked down and it's just like straight fire coming up. Julia, I think we need to evacuate. And she's like, what? I was like, oh my god. She was like panicking and looking around in her room, and she came out with like laptops and stuff and like pictures of her dad, like from her mom and different things, and she was like running with it. Literally just like stood up, and I was like, what do I need in this room? I just grabbed my passport because I know my American visa is in there, and I was like, let's go. I even walked out in flip-flops. Let's go and donate this stuff. Mission accomplished. And I bought myself some flowers and ginger shots. I think that's really important to me, is to like stay proactive, you know, and like take action and all that, but I think it's getting a little out of control. Currently, I applied for the green card lottery, and I'm working on my next work visa in case I don't win the lottery. I talked to my lawyer in California, and he's like, there's no way in hell that you're gonna go back to LA right now, you silly girl. He was like, if you have a dog here you need to come back and take care of, go for it, otherwise stay away. I was like, cut myself. He convinced me to not go back to LA until like January maybe. I applied for a Canadian work visa that's like processing, aka they're probably not looking at it because COVID. I was like, okay, what about Japan or China? So we're trying to get a Chinese work visa to go back there. I don't know how I feel about it. Is that bad to go back to China? Like, what's worse, honestly, America or China? I don't know. I booked a trip to Milan that's probably getting canceled now. I'm supposed to leave on Monday, but COVID is getting pretty out of control out there. I'm about to go down to a cafe and take a look at a Chinese work visa. Throwing a lot of things out there. Let's see if any of it's gonna happen.